Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. And thank you so much for joining us for this afternoon session. We are just about to start. For this afternoon session, it is with the accounting subject area. And joining us today is Dr. Ishani Chandrasekara, and she is the Program Director for Accounting and Management. For today's session, what we will do is we will provide you with an overview of the School of Business and Management, and then we will go into detail about the accounting programs that we offer. Afterwards, you will have the opportunity to have your questions answered live by either myself or Dr. Ishani, and we will start. Just to give you a little bit of a background about Queen Mary, we are located in Myland, and it is basically in East London. Myland is one of the most diverse as well as multicultural parts of London, and it's also one of the most exciting. We are also very close to Canary Wharf and the Olympic Park. We are also one of the small numbers of campus universities, and this means that all of our facilities are located in one place. So this includes the accommodation, the lecture theatres, libraries, and we also have all the amenities that students could ever need at a very short distance. So everything is the walking distance and are quite close to each other. Queen Mary is also a member of the Russell Group Universities, which means that we are recognized as a world-class and research-intensive university, and you can be assured that all of our academics teaching your courses actually specialize in the subject area. Our London graduate students, the population of that, there are more than 90% of them that are from state schools, and 69% are from Black and minority ethnic backgrounds, and 57% are the first into higher education in their families. And this actually makes us as one of the most inclusive Russell Group universities amongst the members. The Queen Mary community is also very diverse. We have around 27,000 students from 162 nationalities, and there's around 4,600 members of staff, and we are ranked at the top 20 in the world for international outlook, as stated by Times Higher Education in the current year. And a little bit more about the School of Business and Management. So the school itself is an institution founded on progressive values of social justice, sustainability, and good governance. These are values that actually make us distinctive and are set around responsible leadership and management in the world today. We are a proud champion of social justice, where equality and diversity are very strong themes in our teaching, as well as in the workplace. We strongly believe that it is the responsibility of business leaders and managers to promote fairness and equality, not just in the workplace, but beyond. Sustainability for us, it just doesn't mean, or it doesn't just refer to the environment and the world, but also this applies to the workplace and the well-being of the wider community. Our courses at SBM embody this particular value through our research as well as our innovative approach to learning in order to prepare our students for life as well as for work. The third value is promoting good governance, where organizations are well managed and they are run in line with the best practice principles. Our governance values are aligned with the United Nations Prime, and this stands for Principles for Responsible Management Education. And we are a member of this particular initiative, which promotes values for responsible management. So we are aiming to have a positive impact, not just in the way we educate our future leaders, but also to have a positive contribution to society. And when it comes to quality, Queen Mary is actually going from strength to strength, and this is reflected on the recent ranking updates. Our accounting and finance program has been ranked second among other London universities, and we have also been recognized by the QS World Rankings as top 20 in the UK amongst the UK universities in 2021. We have also climbed up 6 places in the Complete University Guide for 2021 to be ranked 35 in the UK. And looking more into the School of Business and Management, we are a very close-knit and diverse community, and we consist of over 3,000 students from 100 plus nationalities. So you can expect to learn a very diverse place and have an international experience where you can also develop your intercultural skills as well as your international mindset. We also understand that the shift from studying, from college or school to university can be quite challenging as well as daunting. But rest assured that we are with you at every step of the way, and all of the support are already in place. We have our academic advisors who will be able to assist you with academic writing, as well as when it comes to writing reports, as well as referencing, which is essentially academic writing. And we also have our quantitative tutors who will be able to assist you with data collection, presentation, as well as interpretation. Our advice and counseling services are also available if you require any personal advising, and these are accessible both online as well as offline. And not just those, but we also have our dedicated world class careers team to offer you advice on employability as well as careers. We have our very own careers coach, whom you can seek to support you when it comes to writing your CV, finding a job, as well as honing your transferable skills in order to make you stand out in the job market. And as an applicant, you will be able to find out more information in our Applicant Hub. This particular page on our website is actually designed with you in mind. Here, you will be able to find the latest information about our programs, the answers to some of the most frequently asked questions, and you also will be able to sign up to our upcoming events, to help you with your application, as well as if you require more information about your program of choice. And you can access this via qmul.ac.uk/bizman /undergraduate applicant hub. I will also put the link into the chat so you will be able to access this. Thank you so much for listening. You can also keep in touch with us through our social media pages, and our handle is SBM QMUL. So we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and I will now hand you over to Dr. Ishani Chandrasekara, who will be able to provide more information about the accounting subject area at the School of Business and Management. Thank you, and over to you, Ishani.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, if not good evening, to all of us from home now, from not Queen Mary. I'm today working from home. So good to have so many of you here. Really pleased, and I would like to welcome you all to Queen Mary and School of Business and Management, and to Accounting and Finance. So thank you for joining us today. It's a great pleasure to talk to applicants who are excited and looking forward to join us next year. So this year was, as you all know, there are hiccups going online and not being face to face, but it's going really well at the moment, and students are enjoying their education. And of course, I cannot, deny the challenges, but if this continues, I would, take it positive, because the way we deliver teaching, and for me, although it's been a new experience, there's been a lot of advantages. And I'm really excited to welcome you all and to kind of introduce to Accounting and Finance at Queen Mary. It would be really nice for us to know who you are and to kind of, meet you, but there will be other opportunities. So today I will introduce what we do, and to see if accounting is your the subject that you really love, and also is Queen Mary the place for you to study and join Accounting and Finance. Okay, so I'm sure there will be other opportunities. You could join us, virtual tours, etc. So just for today, I will kind of give the overview of the management, accounting and management program, also introduce you to Accounting and Finance. So here we have at the School of Business and Management a separate department. It's Department of Accounting and Financial Management. Now, when I joined Queen Mary, that was 14 years ago, we didn't have this department. Because accounting became so popular at Queen Mary, so as the finance, as Hannah said, we're really leading in the London, also outside London at the moment in this field. because lots of our energetic and enthusiastic staff is doing really well. So if we tell you a little bit about, so I finished my PhD at Queen Mary. I joined as a lecturer at Queen Mary. I became senior lecturer at Queen Mary, and I'm the program director also, and taking several other leadership roles at Queen Mary. If you ask me why you are at Queen Mary still, I would say this is the place that I really love working, and also Queen Mary is a brilliant institution. I used to work at Ernst & Young when I first started my accounting qualifications, but then not quite quickly, because I completed my PhD also in accounting, as you can see in the slide. I took a little kind of a unique turn, and I introduced post-colonial theory and the feminist narrative to accounting. The reason was that when I joined E&Y, it's one of the big four firms, as you may have heard, the presence of the female, the women, was very marginal. And I thought that I want to be with this strong narrative to bring that women have a place in accounting, and we should all encourage that. And also the culture, the diversity and the equality in accounting was not so quite there. So that's what I thought. I want to write about it. I want the world to know about this. And also, being at a very special location like East London, we have a lot to offer to the field of accounting. So this is why I am here. So I'm originally from Sri Lanka, and we have lots of academics from various different countries. So my team of colleagues also are very diverse, with diverse experience, like Hannah said, really well-leading research colleagues we have, beginning from very well-known professors to lecturers, PhD candidates, and all that. So it's a really diverse place that where we are. So last week, I invited somebody from Mazar International, audit firm, also accounting firm, and the partner said, Ishani, I can proudly say Queen Mary is the community university, because we take students on board very seriously, and our pride is our students and also their diversity. And I work for a center called a Center for Women's Research, and it is amazing work that we do. And we also, as you can see, if you see the School of Business and Management, it's almost 50-50 the board, because we have a lot of very strong women and also male colleagues that are dedicated for developing exciting curriculum. So if I look back 15 years or 14 years, the curriculum looks so different now, because we are working with the accounting industry and the professional body very closely. When I go into the next slide, I'll give you a little bit insight to our program, okay? So we have two different programs delivered by the same department. It's a BSc Honours Accounting and Finance and BSc Honours Accounting and Management. Now, if you ask from me as a student joining Queen Mary, is accounting and finance the same? They are not same. Accounting and management is also not the same. So accounting and finance, I would say in a simple way, they could be two different fruits. Let's say it's an apple and orange, but it belongs to the fruits. So it's not a vegetable. So that's how I always simply give this example. So they are very different. So when you think about that, there's a bigger picture of finance, how you see it, finance is where a company or a business is financed, where the money is pooled. So we're talking about private equity and all these kind of limited liability companies in the world, public, private, both. The accounting is the mechanism. It's the way that the finances are controlled and managed and reported to the public. So in accounting itself, there are subcategories. In finance, also subcategories. So if you are thinking to go in accounting and finance, you are thinking about joining as a CFO or an asset manager or a private equity, joining a bank, joining a board of directors. If you're thinking of accounting and management, we have driven this program to kind of nurture you to become an accountant, qualified accountant. So accounting and management program also accredited by the three main bodies in the UK. So in the UK, we have the academic side, which is Queen Mary, and then we have the professional side, which is ACCA, CIMA, and ICAW. These are all chartered institutions, right? So then we also have in accounting big four firms. So if you are a student that's entering into this program, it is important for you to have an academic background, also know about the industry, and also know about the professional institutions, because once or while you are in the degree, we also encourage you and support you and help you to become a member of a chartered institution. So at the moment we have a scheme, we pay the membership fee for you to become a student member of one of the chartered institutes. So even within the Russell Group universities, there's not many universities are part of this, but I can proudly say our programs are triple accredited. So all memberships are available for you, whichever you decide. So I teach in this program in the first year. So it's my responsibility to introduce to you really in the first year how this accounting profession works, because accounting is a profession. As you know, in the US, if you ask, law is the profession. In the UK, the most predominant profession is accounting. So inevitably, you will become a qualified CIMA or ACC or ICAW accounting once you completed this degree. So we have lots of graduates at the moment out there qualifying for accounting professional qualification. So we are preparing you. And also I can proudly say we are in the moment discussing to offer you a placement through these programs. So I can give you an example. Accounting and management program will offer 30 placements for NHS from next year. This is the first time we are introducing this. So in the second year, you can take a break and go and do a little placement. So this is how the programs are designed. So I'm going to a little bit explain in the next slide how we have put this academic discipline together for you to thrive outside the world. So as I said, we got these professional institutions, but at the same time, we are delivering this academic knowledge and academic discipline for you to train and then become a professional accountant. So our school is a critical school. Also, it's an interdisciplinary school. So when you join accounting and finance or accounting and management, it's not just you are studying accounting only, you will be also studying HR, you'll be studying finance, you'll be studying marketing and organizational studies, business management studies. So in a way, it's created this program for you to become an overall idea and a kind of understanding of the world, how a business organization works in the modern or the contemporary world. So it is not just one particular subject, and there's interdisciplinary aspect for you to take it up from there and to become who you want to be and what subject you love to specialize in. So excellent. We are in a high ranking as well in our teaching and learning, etc. So we also have a really vibrant academic community, always there to help students, always developing a curriculum that is suitable to students. So let me pause here and explain to you how it works. In our campus, in our university, students are the main stakeholder. So we treat students equally as academics, and we develop your skills to become a leader, future leader, right? So education, through education, we want to see that our students are becoming leaders who they want to be. So therefore, we are in a constant conversation with students like you all, and what you like really, what do you enjoy? So if the students say to us the workload is too much, we step back and we look at, and in every single board that we have at the business school, there's a student representative. So we take your voices really seriously. That's why we are the community university, and we are really proud about it because we are very unique. Yeah. So being a Russell Group University and being in London. So I'll explain to you. Actually, there's also, maybe you are interested in, so placements, graduate schemes, study abroad will come once we are in a safer ground. And then we also have this really amazing team of recruitment, which I am part of as well. From the beginning, when you join Queen Mary, you will realize our dedication to look at your CVs, develop your interest, and beginning this journey all 3 years, which is 1,000 years also, 1,000 days also. We say that you are at Queen Mary to give you the best potential to thrive in the field that you really love. So that's why we very carefully created and crafted this program for students. In the next slide, I'm going to discuss a little bit about the program. So the subjects varies. Sometimes, we keep adding new subjects. So here's something that I have not added is we also train you to become tax specialists, also audit. And on top of that, we have basic financial finance and financial management. And we also have a financial accounting, corporate governance, corporate finance, loads of subcategories, subdisciplines of accounting and finance, and also all areas of business and management. And then I already talk about the professional accreditations. You gain this while you are a student. So you don't wait until you graduate, and we create the path for you to join while you are in the first year to complete some of these exemptions. Yeah. And then we also run workshops. We also run a lot of practitioner talks, and we invite our graduates to talk to you, to give you that knowledge, outside knowledge that lies in the specialism. So it's really important for us to work as in a partnership with lots of different groups of people and lots of different teams. In the past, we used to offer a study abroad scheme, and I highly encourage my students to join because it's a really fun thing as a student to do this. Go to Australia, go to America, spend a year, come back, and we welcome you to complete your studies. And when you join Queen Mary, as Hannah said, you will be part of the academic advising team to make sure that you have a great trajectory path, that not just completing a degree, but also you have some focus where you want to be, who you want to be, and it is our responsibility to support you. So all these things are in place right now to help you. So academic writing. So when you join Queen Mary, if you feel at some point, my strength is not writing, we have specialized people to help you. We have dissertation supervisors. In your third year, you complete a 10,000 words a project. If you want to, you could pick up a subject that you like. In the past, students have talked about diversity in accounting, equality in accounting, all sorts of sustainability, about fair trade projects, loads of different topics. You come and tell us and we support you. And then when you go to a wonderful job, you can present this as a piece of work that you really enjoyed and you submitted as part of your degree. So you can say Big Four firm, let's say you want to write about KPMG or you want to write about PwC. This is where the conversation is leading. Also, you have through both degrees, you have access to professional acceleration, which means you are cutting short your journey for that career, the job that you're wishing for by doing this program. Because when you are in acceleration program, the exemptions you receive. So for example, let's say once you qualified, once you finish your degree as a graduate, when you join a Big Four firm, the first thing they would expect you to do is to do professional qualifications. Usually there are 14 papers to complete. While you are in this degree, both of the degrees, you are knocking off 4 of them or 8 of them in ACCA or CIMA, even higher up. So you might, in CIMA, you'll end up doing 1 case study because the rest are parallelly taught during this degree. So you are saving your time to do some of them and get the exemption. So when you graduate from these 2 programs, you are ready. You can proudly say to the employers, look, I'm halfway there to become a professional accountant. So that's why we are part of this acceleration. And we also award prizes for students. And I can say that this year, Accounting and Management program is shortlisted for the Global Excellence Campus Culture Award by CIMA. So we will hear about the winner in next month, actually. So that's where we are. We have won lots of, our students have won prizes. Our students also go to conferences. They have become, you know, global citizens, and they are adapting to academic and professional life while they are at Queen Mary. In the next slide, I'm going to talk to you about few things about also the program. So at Queen Mary, you have many opportunities to focus on a career that you like, develop the skills, develop your CV, and also look at the jobs. Because I once read in a book about, actually in Michelle Obama as well, I read recently that best advice you can give to a student or a graduate, that you need to have a knowledge about the industry that you love to join once you graduate. So, you know, let's say you are, you know, your passion is, let's say, fashion, yeah, and then you can have an idea that I really want to join Chanel, or I really want to join, let's say, a big brand that you really love, or let's say Marks and Spencer. Every single industry these days need an accountant, need a finance, if a CFO, financial controller. So it's not really that you are, oh, let's say a lot of the students this year told me that it's football. They want to do West Ham, Manchester United, you know, you name it, any industry you like, everyone needs an accountant, because the financial figures are so crucial. You know, I tell you a secret, I'm not a good maths person, but I am really good at logic. So putting things like, you know, if you put 30,000 there, what would happen to the other 30,000? So I'm a person, very analytical kind of mind, how to kind of, you know, maximize the profit basically. So I tell my students, if you want to join football, fine, look at a position at a football club, or a big, you know, big industry where you want to be, and just look at the finance positions. There's loads going out there. So this last week I gave a session to students. I'm sure if Ben is in the call, Ben knows about this. We have JP Morgan, we have really like amazing places that students have never even thought about even. So that's my advice. And it's important, I think, as a student to think about, you know, I know really well economics, I know finance, I know accounting. However, do I know about the industry? You need to think about outside the box a little bit, so that, you know, you can be unique, you can bring your own passion and what you love. So that's, I think, is the advice from my side to give you. That's why we give this slide for you to think about, that what it means, where do I want to head after this. So it's not because your mom and dad told that there's a degree that I can go and do it. It's because you are genuinely like the subject, and you want to be one of those people who says that I am in finance, I go to Canary Wharf, I went to Queen Mary and I did this degree. So that kind of spirit we want you to have. So next slide, please. So these are some of the examples that we put together to show you where our students have been. And as you can see, they're not accounting mainly, right? Look at this, the variety. And we also have public sector. We have national audit firm. We have, what is it, the tax, HMRC. We have lots of other public services as well, students, okay? So it's not just private sector. So this is an example to show you where I think this slide needs updating. Even we have more and more exciting places that students have been recently. So yes, next slide, please, Hannah. So then we have this big four accounting firms where students have been. So in your leisure time, have a look, browse a little and see what is about PwC. Go to the graduate schemes and see what they're looking at. Basically, they're looking at a good degree, and they would like you to join into the graduate scheme. So join as a graduate and recently graduated student, or you can join them as a placement inside day. So that's why we want to kind of, you know, put you in front and say, look, Deloitte, have you ever been to their website? Have a look at it if you're interested in accounting. Also, you could go to any of these companies as an example we've given. But I think if you're interested in finance and accounting, it's banks, for example, right? We have Santander, we have HSBC, Barclays, so many different places that you can be. This is just a handful of examples for you, okay? And then I would like again to thank you for joining today. And as you know, it's a challenging time, so we are online, but I think online is fine because we feel safe, and our students at the moment really are very happy going online, and also they are very kind of excited about going ahead with this in a safe environment. So when we get opportunity, we'll invite you to campus because we still have time. You guys are joining next year. So from me, that's all. And I want to wish you all the very best for your A-levels and getting good grades and making to that cutoff mark to get a place at Queen Mary. Once you are with us, we'll congratulate them. So please choose Queen Mary, accounting and finance and accounting and management. I can reassure again, these degrees are very well designed to give you the best opportunity, best potential to go out there and get into good jobs. So that's from me. Please post questions, okay? If you have any questions to ask from me. Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ishani, for giving us a very informative session. And we actually quite have a lot of questions from our audience. The first one is, which is better, accounting and finance or accounting and management?
Oh, you guys putting me into a difficult position now. So I would say I can't, as academic as also being my honest opinion, I think that a lot of the students this year decided to go to accounting and finance. The reason I tell you, the both degrees are equally good. The accounting and finance okay, let me begin this way. So when you join the program, you have compulsory subjects and you have elective subjects. So in the accounting and finance degree, your compulsory subjects, that in the first year 4 compulsory and then second year 4, third year 4, these are predominantly accounting and finance, but leaning towards finance. Now, accounting and management program, these compulsory subjects are leaning towards accounting. So this is the main difference between the two. So one is towards finance, but the accounting subjects are electives in that program. Whereas accounting and management, you would have finance and management to go. So there's two different routes. Basically giving you, if you are the person who loves finance, it's accounting and finance. So predominantly you will be doing finance and your electives are accounting. Accounting and management, you have finance and management, both electives, and accounting is predominantly the main subject that you will be studying. So accounting and finance degree was very popular this year. We have almost, quite a large cohort, but accounting and management also being our old degree, which is 4 years ago, it has the 3 accreditations. Accounting and finance got only 1 accreditation, but it will be by the time you graduate, the program will be fully accredited. So there's, this kind of accounting and finance being the new degree, it's kind of, yes, there are new subjects and everything that you like, but maybe accounting and management, because it's established already, you get these accreditations, etc., etc. But because you are joining next year, both programs will be equally running. But remember, one is specializing finance, the other one is specializing accounting. And, by the time if you get to come to campus, and we can also listen to some other lecturers, how the 2 programs are run. But that's the main difference, I would say, Hannah.
Great. Thank you so much for letting us know the difference. We hope we have clarified that for you. And there is a follow-up question in regards to both subjects. Is there more maths involved in accounting and finance than accounting and maths?
Okay, so in accounting and finance, there is a more, it's not, I wouldn't say maths, but it's a basic theories and basic concepts that's related to finance. So if I say you will be studying, all of you, regardless of which degree you do, in your first year, everyone will be studying economics, finance, accounting, business management, and skills, organizational skills, which means we want somehow students, we know you come with a very little knowledge, or we don't expect at all any knowledge to be specialized. So we begin from fundamentals, the basic elements of these two subjects, okay? And then when you go to second year, it's an intermediary level, which you will be not just learning the concepts, but you're learning to apply these concepts. And then when you go to the third year, you will try to explore internationally industry. So that's advanced level. So more case studies and etc. So it's a gradual progression. It's not a quick start, but we are introducing you to from a very basic point, and slowly we would like to see the academic progression. So even in accounting and management, or in accounting, it's not maths. You don't have to be good at maths. It's about the logic. There is one equation called double entry bookkeeping. Some of you may know that's all what you need. And then in accounting or finance, what the industry looking at is, are you a good analyzer? Can you analyze a set of numbers? How can you talk to the numbers? How can you put two numbers together and say, we can make a profit? You know, if you are not gaining, let's say, money from one thing this year, how can you allocate that into a different stream and maximize profit? So it's not like I always say, you know, people say, oh, you have to be a clever mathematician. Accounting is not. Accounting is analytics, being a very, very good analyzer. That's why we have a lot of financial analyst roles in the world for accountant. So it's about forensic accounting, yeah? So you see an annual report in a company, you open it and say, oh, there's a fraud, because you know how to analyze the numbers. That's how it works. Tax, audit, all this is really interesting. It's like, you know, like a scientist almost, like you look at, you know, oh, what happened here? And then you open up the story. That's what's about. So it's not about maths, okay?
Great. Thank you so much. And that was a very great answer, especially going into detail. So thank you, Shani. And we are now going to the more academic questions. Over here, we have how many hours of lessons or lectures will we have per week?
Okay, so at Queen Mary, we've designed in such a way that students can manage their workload weekly, monthly, and the semester. So because we are listening to students very, very carefully, we have worked out what a student can manage as time-wise, because a lot of our students also have part-time jobs outside the academic learning curve. It's okay, it's normal to have a job, etc. But students also have to have a really nicely organized, systematic timetable. And in this timetable, teaching only, we have 4 hours per week, 1 hour lecture. So you have 4 modules, and in an academic circle, we got 2 semesters. So we beginning in September, by December, it's called semester A, and from January to halfway through April, we have semester B, and then we have the rest of the semester for exams and assignments, etc. So in this semester, for semester 1, you would be doing 4 modules and 4 assessments. These can be exam papers, assignments, coursework, presentations. And then in semester B, you do another 4 subjects. So altogether, 8 subjects compulsory in your first year. And these subjects are fundamental level subjects where you will have 1 lecture and where you'll also have 1 hour seminar. Because of the new world where we live, the online way, you may have a recorded lecture and you may have an interactive 2-hour session where you sit with the lecturer in a class, smaller groups, working on things like exercises, calculations, etc., etc. And then we advise students the rest of the time, you need to decide how much I can allocate or I will allocate for reading, and also working in groups. Believe me or not, although we are going online, students already have found their small groups, they have access to online library books, etc. So altogether, we would say 10 hours or so. So this is quite, seriously we would like to, because when you join, you will see that there's some commitment to this. Therefore, 10 hours will be sufficient. As you, progress into second year, students would say, oh, this will need to be 15 hours, but it depends. Some subjects, you are good at it, so you grapple it quickly. Other subjects, you need to invest time and patience as well to understand it. And if you don't understand, you have to go to office hours. So it's a little bit more time. So once you join, you will realize that it's important for you as a person to work out what's best for you.
Great. Thank you, Shani. And another follow-up question is, how are the assessments split for the courses?
Okay, so because this accounting and finance programs are accredited, we have to have a portion of the assessment to be invigilated. So in a normal environment, if it's not coronavirus, it would be larger portion of the module will be assessed via a main exam, because then you will receive exemption for that particular subject. So usually you're looking at 40% of coursework and a 60% exam, or 50-50 or 30-70. Now the smaller proportion of the assessment, some we like to be to give you the presentation skills. So the teachers also committing time to smaller pieces of assessment to put together, group of you work and do a presentation. And some lecturers prefer, because it's the best for the pedagogy or the education of that particular subject, to have a written piece of work, because we also want you to develop writing skills. And some would prefer a midterm test. These are not mainly multiple choice questions, some are, but it's skills. We want to assess the skills. So there's online tests, question banks, you practice, and you kind of do a little bit of calculation questions, etc. So it's kind of, there's no universal standard way we want to assess. A module this year may be 100%, but next year not. So very rarely we assess 100% now. We are mainly giving the student the smaller proportion of the assessment before, like halfway through this semester, and then we provide you feedback to improve and get ready for your main exam. So there are two kind of pulse checking points. We give you a small assessment, help you, give you feedback, and then students are aware of what's coming up in the main exam. And also talking about assessments, we assess halfway through. So the first semester modules will be assessed, examined in January. So from 7th to 20th of January also, and then it's easy for you. So in the past at Queen Mary, we used to have exam period in May and students took 8 exams. So students said it's a little bit difficult for them. So now it's January, and then the other 4 will be assessed in May. So it's a split semester exams, and this is working really amazing at the moment. Students find it, yes, they have breathing space. If I answered your question.
Great. Thank you so much for providing the information, and I hope that did answer the question. And another question that we have over here is, what would you recommend we talk about in our personal statement?
Oh, this is an amazing question, right? So this year it was interesting, because as a program director, I get to see the personal statements and I read, and I kind of, see really exciting stories. So I would say that out of all the personal statements I've read so far, even in the neighborhood, I help people to kind of, to work in their personal statement. And I also work as a governor at a primary school, so I can see from the point where it comes. I would always say, yes, you write a little bit about the subject, but mainly what we are looking at, your knowledge outside this discipline. So if you want to do accounting degree, we would love to see that you are aware that there's an industry in accounting or in finance. That are you the person who are aware of this industry, which is important. So if you write in your personal statement and said, I really love this subject, and then you give a reason why you love it, because you want to become an accountant or you want to. So it's always kind of showing us you have a plan for yourself. You are ambitious. You are becoming a leader, but not necessarily in accounting. You could say, I want to finish the climate crisis, but through accounting. Yeah, what's the role of accounting in climate crisis? Because we know that, if the bee is an extinct animal or, insect, accountant can stop this, because we will be responsible in our reporting and in our sustainable practices how this is going to work. And also, I really love and enjoyed reading personal statements when a student says, this is my favorite novel, or this is my favorite movie, because this is what really inspired me. This year, one student I wrote the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad. I honestly couldn't believe that's one of the books I've read as well. And it is accounting, or someone might say, I watched the accountant thriller, the movie, and that shows that you are thinking outside the box, which is not something maybe your teachers in the college have taught, but this is the key for you to show that I want this subject because I know where I'm heading towards. I know my position. This is the job I'm aiming for. So it's kind of putting your, what, students are really, really diverse, and some students write their personal story. And this year, because one of the accounting and management program has a scholarship. It's been given by ICAW, a prestigious scholarship. And also this year, SEMA is talking to give a scholarship. So at the scholarship, I asked, students to write why you want this, or why you apply for the scholarship. One of the students were really, really good. She wrote her personal story. And she said, who I am, how I became, and this is me, I am. And I thought it's a fantastic story, because she told in the story that I am not the brightest student, but if you give me this opportunity, I can show you I can be one of them. So it's kind of, thinking in a nice, neat way that, if you're looking for the best 3A student, you are not the one maybe. However, the way you articulate your story can get you into a place and can give you that second chance. So that's why it's important for you to think outside the box, if that makes sense, right? Did I answer that, Hannah?
Yes, I believe so. And thank you so much for also giving some tips to our attendees. Mhm.
You're welcome.
Great. And another question that we received over here is, how does the assessment work?
Okay, so that's an interesting question as well. So how it works is, if you ask me, that the way that it's designed is one, the assessments, and they are kind of, deliver, the method of delivery is another. So what we have done in the past is, so in this particularly accounting and management program, because I myself designed and also having the experience with the industry, I kind of know how it works. And so let's say we take, in accounting, we have a subject called, let's say, financial accounting, okay? So we kind of see within a 12-week, within a semester, what is kind of possible for a student in the first year to study. So we see that workload, we see the way that, not from perspective of academic, because we have probably, grow out of all this. So we can say, that's not the way at Queen Mary we said. We discuss with students and ask, within a 12-week, what can, so the graduates give us feedback. Graduates are in our boards to give us feedback. And then we see that what needs being assessing in parallel to the profession. So accounting profession wants you to have certain skills. So it's not that because I think that's important to us, because especially in this subject, we have to assess you in certain skills. So what we're trying to get you is to think about those skills and progress. So when we are giving you an assessment, the way the assessment is delivered to assess certain kind of skills through learning objectives. So when we design a subject to deliver to students, we have to come up with learning objectives. And these learning objectives are, while are you at Queen Mary or you are at Imperial, you are at UCL, it doesn't matter. Every university has the quality assurance standards, and we, Queen Mary, also have to follow. So we have to complete. So if you say in the first year, maybe your assessments are designed to give you an understanding. And in the second year, we would say, we want you to apply the knowledge. And third year, maybe we want you to analyze. So that means we very carefully using these words in parallel to the quality assurance, the higher education, UK-wide, other universities. So we have a benchmark when we do give this assessment. It's not that we assess harder than, let's say, University of Manchester, because some of us, in myself, I'm external examiner for South Bank, London, and also Bournemouth. So because we all have this kind of, externally sitting on other places, we kind of give you similar standards in assessments. So if you look at a year one paper, Queen Mary, and let's say we want to look at University of Liverpool, they are very similar because we have to have a benchmark in our assessments, okay? And also our assessments are prepared by the internal staff, and then they are moderated by external staff. And in many times, it's also moderated by professional institutions. Therefore, it's like it goes via many, many different levels to make sure we assess you in the right level and the right type of questions and the right knowledge to find and the skills. So it is important for us to go in parallel to the learning objectives, if that makes sense. And that's why sometimes you would ask, why is a skills test? Why is not a presentation? Because for that particular subject, when you apply for a job, it's definitely a presentation. And if you apply for audit, a job, and it is definitely a skills test that you have to go through because it's a psychometric test. So there is always kind of, very carefully we have crafted this thinking that this is what the students will be facing outside Queen Mary. So when you are with us, we want you to think outside Queen Mary as well, what's happening in the rest of the world. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. We actually have about 2 more minutes until the session ends, so we're going to answer as much questions as we can. But if you have any queries after this session, or if we did not get to answer your question, do send it to us at sbminquiries@qmul.ac.uk. Okay, so we will be proceeding to the next question. The
Sure.
next one is, hi, for the SBM internships, when would we get the chance to do these? Would it be during the academic year or during summer breaks? Thank you.
You're welcome. So today we had a meeting actually. We're talking a little bit more in depth and in deeper about this. So when you talk about a placement, we have very different models and kinds of placements and insight. So when you join first year, we would say settle down, establish yourself. And when it comes to the second semester, we would send you to the right people to prepare your CV. So, and then at that point, we talk about inside days. Many organizations have inside days. So it would be nicer for you to go to those inside days to develop links, networks. It's being at university is being part of a network. It's really important to be in network. So that's why we ask students to join LinkedIn, not Facebook and Instagram at this point. When you are a university student, join LinkedIn because that develops networks. And then when you come to second year, we say in summertime, there are placements. Actually, Queen Mary is going forward next year also some to give you placement years, which means there are two varieties in here. So one, you will take a break from your degree and you will go to industry and spend a year, and then you come back for your third year studies. So this is second year. And there's another way you could do this. That's you take a shorter placement in summer months. So you are not completely coming out of the degree. You are part of the degree, being in the degree, but from end of May, so June, July, August, you will do a placement and then you will come back to the degree. So when you join Queen Mary, or even now you can see, if you go to a big four firm, if you could see in Price Bailey's these days, that there are graduate opportunities, which means they are not a permanent graduate job, but they are placements and inside days, just giving an opportunity to kind of get a flavor or inspiration from organizations. So sometimes students find the placements and tell us, can you help us? Can you help us with the CV? Can you help us with, preparing a letter? On the other cases, we help you. So at Queen Mary, we have this amazing Q Consult and a Q mentoring scheme. So what we have done is we have invited some specialists from the industry to join us, voluntary, giving up their time to prepare our students to get into an insight program or else a placement, and then pinpoint them where to kind of head in. So that way, one, we supporting you, other, you telling us what you found. So that's, and then we kind of we last week I brought one of my really talented, inspiring students to have a chat with my existing students, and what she said at that point is, from the first year, encourage students to go to LinkedIn, network, find who are the key people, and show that you are a Russell Group University student, and then you show them already you are interested in, and don't, because in accounting and finance especially, you don't have to wait until third year to find a placement or a job. You can find that in first year, you can do the psychometric test, you can do everything, and they'll call you to come and join in third year. So all students joined that call last week said, please, Ishani, encourage students to think about this from the beginning, so that it gives you, because let me be honest about this, you might apply to a company that you really love, you'll be rejected. And by the time you apply second time, you got to wait 12 months. And the next time 12. So even if you go 3 cycles, you will be ready in the third year for a job. So that's what I want to this year, my student to think, please, you can be really good at academic stuff because you're already there, but keep an eye on the industry. And this is what we need to get you into. That's why it's, I think, important, the question that you ask about placements. Some we offer, some you bring to us and say that I want to really get this, therefore we help. Or we find through our careers team and we offer you many times. There are placements available. We have an amazing person called Helen Green. She always in about London-based companies to see who who's offering placements, etc., etc. So we are also keen, because it's our responsibility, right? Our graduates get into good top jobs, because when you become an alum in our university, we are proud. That's why.
Great. Thank you so much, Ishani, for providing our attendees the insight of studying at QMUL and all the opportunities that they can take advantage of as a student. Now, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for the session. And for those of you whose questions we weren't able to answer, you can also visit our applicant hub, which is currently displayed on the screen. And I have also sent the link in the chat section, which you can just copy and paste later on. Well, thank you so much for engaging with us today. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Ishani Chandrasekara for
You're welcome.
yeah, for providing the time for us today despite her busy schedule.
Please do send, as Sana said, any questions. I'm happy to, reply to you and just ask any questions, any times. Queen Mary is one of those universities we really want to encourage students to do accounting, do finance, and to be the best in this field. So please do come back to us, okay?
Mhm. Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening, everyone. Please stay safe, and we hope to welcome you to Queen Mary in the next academic year. Cheers. Thank you.
Yes, I
Bye.
look forward to and excited as always.